And yeah, let's see. Someone asked about questions. If you have something, stop me and ask. If I see that it's going too much questions, I'll leave them at the end. But if you have something urgent to ask, of course you can stop. So as presented, I am Vaidas Adomauskas, working currently at company Adform. It's very strange to say work currently. 2.5 years now as a product manager. So my main job is basically to decide what features to build and how to move them to production and where we develop our product. But of course, probably I'm more talking about our experiences, how we organize the work, how we organize our development, how we organize our product management, because we use Scrum, and you'll see more practices in Adform trying to be really agile. On the other side, I was initiator of this community, so now we have really a bunch of people that do all this stuff, like conferences, what we discussed, translations. So yeah, I was elected as president, but I'm really happy that we keep sharing everything and can you create events like this for you. That's why I kind of have an overview of how Agile is going in Lithuania as well, because I talk to many companies, I see how they're doing, do some trainings to them so you can see the difference. One slide about Adform. Adform is an ad serving company. We were building our own product. So our clients are media agencies that log in and use our product. So they buy it software as a service. It's, as you can see, in 12 countries, but actually out of, this is old number already, we're growing very fast. Today we have 179. Yesterday was the meeting. So, but 150 of them are in Lithuania, meaning that in Lithuania we have all developers, all product management, all client support. All other countries is a sales office with key account managers. So the biggest office in Lithuania. That's why the most interesting stuff as a company happens in Lithuania. So agenda is 3 points. Why Agile? Very fast one, just to get the introduction. Then the main point is the middle, Agile maturity, or basketball maturity, because if you read the presentation, I'll try to use basketball analogy to see where we are. And then to end very fast, if you want to change to more Agile, move these layers of agility further. That's the agenda. So let's start with the first one. And when we start, of course, I ask these questions, but very fast to double check how many people are in the room whose companies are using Agile. Oh, majority. Okay. And then the other question is more interesting. Why did you start? And of course, I can give you the interesting slides or whatever, but I want to have 1 minute. You talk to the guy next to you and ask and tell him why your company started using it and why your company started using it. Or I didn't, if you don't. So you have 1 minute. I hope that's lucky. You can talk. Okay, time is up. Time is up. We have very short time box. It's very okay. Can I get your attention back, please? You see, when I start share, then everyone was, oh no, I'll have to talk with the guy next to me. And then when you start, you cannot stop. You know, the natural thing. Okay, let's stop. Can 3, 4 people share what they said, what their colleagues said, why their company started using it? Anyone? Don't be shy. Don't be Estonians. We're in Lithuania. Someone. It's not your opinion, it's the guy next to you told you. Yeah? Yeah, Vaidas? Do we have a microphone here? Improve the time to build something. Sorry? Reduce time waste. Very good. Other one. If you don't raise your hand, I'll pick someone. I see my Matt standing there. He taught me a very good lesson. If people don't raise hands, you go and pick one. Scared? Okay.
Possibility to change features.
Changing features fast. Very good. Anyone else?
We didn't get to the point.
So, why did you start using Agile, or your company?
By our company, because easier implementation of business rules. It's more visible.
Easier to implement business rules. Yes, more visibility. Good. I bet you got more questions, and actually I would advise you when you go around in the coffee break, talk about exactly this point, because what I see a lot, companies start using whatever, Agiles or some methodology, Scrum or whatever they do, because it's fun, because you know, we got to the conference, we have 400 people talk about it, probably it's cool. As Alistair said, if you don't have your problem, don't start changing anything, maybe you don't need to. So first, very hardly think why you want to change, what you want to change, and then think if Agile can apply it. And you said few points, this is just statistics in general that people say that accelerated time to market, managing changing priorities, which you mentioned, and increased productivity, which you mentioned, are top reasons. So if you have these issues and if you want to help them, maybe Agile is your choice. If not, just skip it and come to these events and have coffee and talk with people. So I advise you one more time when you have coffee breaks, don't just drink coffee, try to get the meaning why you started it. Okay, so let's get back to the main one, because my point is not to convince you to use Agile. I hope the ones that are using know why. My point was to talk about the maturity. So again, let's start a very big, very fast rising hands. You have from 0 to 5, and I want you to say, where do you think on this level you are? If you're doing nothing, then it's of course 0, and then you can be from beginner to being perfect. Can we try some to have the feeling in the room? So who is on 0 level they do not use? 1, 2, few, okay. Who thinks they are on 1 level? Level number 1. Wait a few. Level number 2. 3, 4, 5. Number 3. Level number 4. And level number 5. Matt is perfect, and Stefan is perfect, of course. I'll show you that you're not, actually. Good. Now I just wanted to get a feeling of how you see it, and then we'll check how it works. Okay, so we're in Lithuania. The only thing that Lithuanians understand is basketball. If you talk about Agile, project management, building stuff, I mean, who cares about that? If you talk about basketball, everyone cares, so let's talk about basketball. Basketball, who knows the basketball? Who is too lazy to raise a hand? Okay, is this basketball? It's kids playing in high school. Is this basketball? Yes. This is we, as a company, Adform, playing in the IT league. Yeah, there is a league that IT guys can go and play, pretend that we are good at basketball. This is basketball? It's a preparation part, but yes, we did play. We even have a referee and fight a bit. Is this basketball? Do you know which team is best in this league? I hear some people are from Kaunas here, or from other cities, but not Vilnius. Is this a basketball? Do you know what league is this? This is a Euroleague game. This is the National Lithuanian League game, for those who don't know. And is this a basketball? Depends on the situation, yeah, but this is NBA, yes? So we have basketball on a very, very different level, from the high school to the NBA. And that's, I think, what we have to start discussing. When we say we are Agile, then it doesn't make sense, because everyone is Agile now, yes? The question, where we are. Are we playing in a high school? Are we playing in an NBA or some national league? Yes, so that's what I will be talking about. Can you come closer, because I have no clue what you are showing to me, what the numbers are. No? Okay, so I'll track my time myself. Okay, let's start with high school. So in high school, we have Scrum. Scrum is very simple. It has 3 roles, 4 processes or meetings, and 4 artifacts. If you don't know these, I won't explain it to you. Download the Scrum guide. It's 14 pages. It's like, what, 15 minutes read, and you're done. You know what Scrum is. So that's what we did in Adform 2.5 years ago now. We said, these are 3 roles, so let's put some people to those roles. Let's get the process. We have planning, review, daily stand-up, review, and retrospectives. And we have to have artifacts, so it means we have to have board-down chart, sprint backlog, product backlog, and 2 board-down charts. And that's done. We start. We start playing high school basketball. This was in Adform. The same was when I was in Sweden doing it in doing an outsource project. I had an outsource project with these guys. My manager said, we don't have resources in the company, we need to outsource it, let's outsource it to Sri Lanka. We get 5.5 resources. That's interesting when they call people 5.5. We got full people, which is somehow was 5.5. So that was our budget. I had people and some 2 travel budgets. I had the scope, the functionality. We needed to get this done. And we actually had a very tough schedule. We said we have to be in the market after 4 months, or it's possible, kind of doesn't make sense to go there. And of course, I cared about the quality a lot, so I didn't want to go it bad. So how was it? First, we needed to decide on what process to use. And I asked guys, what do you want to use? And they say, oh, we are ITIL certified. We are cool guys. If you tell us requirements, we can tell you how number of lines of codes you will have, and how many bugs you will have after release, and how long it will take to fix it. We have all that statistics in place. We just feed the data, and it spits out. We forecast everything perfectly. Like, I don't want to hear how many bugs I will have after the release, and to know that only after I done. So now I said, we are using Scrum. We want you to use Scrum. And they were a bit against, but because we pay money, they kind of didn't have any choice. So they said, yes, we'll do Scrum. So what do we do then? We assign the roles. I'm product owner because I'm sitting from the client side, ordering, and then we have Scrum Master on that side who's working with the team and kind of making sure that this happens. So we sit in Sweden, with product man, with company owners, we get the backlog. We see that we have so many ideas, but we see that we should be somewhere here, which is enough for the first release. So we want basically to get this part of the project done. If we get it right, we will continue the project, develop the product further. So we got the backlog with some line where we would like to get to the first release. Then, of course, I fly to Sri Lanka, talk with them, what the Scrum is, we clarify the roles, and we get the estimation. Because this was my own feeling with product, with CEO and managers, what we want to do, but I didn't have clue if we can do. And this is, I don't want to get in details. In a day and a half, with totally new team, with completely new project they had no idea about, we managed to estimate it using planning poker and other stuff. And actually, after we released, we saw that the estimations were pretty okay. They were good enough to plan. So again, if someone thinks that estimating project planning has to take 2 weeks or whatever, it took us 1 day and a half with a completely new team and completely new project. So if you get it right, you can get it fast. What's next? Then we started the project. So the first sprint starts, everything goes fine. The first sprint review, after 2 weeks, they show me the product, and I look like this. What? Nothing works. Like, oh, we did something here, you know, some documents written, but nothing done. I was like, why? So we agreed that we want to get that small slice done here. No, lots of bad things. So then we started discussing, let's agree what I really want. I really want that slice piece of functionality finished. It has to be working. It has to be running on virtual machines. You have to show me how virtual machines stand up. You have the feature, it's running, we test it, that's when it's done. Okay, they said, we do it, you know, India, we do it, Sri Lanka, we do it. And it looks like this. Of course, second sprint, we do almost nothing. We try to learn what to do, everything what you need to do for the first sprint. And then I'm getting a bit serious because we have only 4 months, so it's kind of, you know, I'll be late, what to do? But actually, when we learned it in second sprint, and third and fourth, we improved continuously. It was like this. Because we're speeding up. Every sprint is speeding up, and we catched our planned velocity, and we managed to get that project done. So if the first sprint is very bad, you should not be so scared. It's, of course, you need to learn. So when we finished, I'm not getting into very details, my managers look like this, because we get the time with the budget and with quality, which again, some people say, Agile is nothing about fixed price, fixed cost. It is. If you need, you can get everything in it if using just Scrum framework. What was more interesting to ask the guys in Sri Lanka to say how they feel. And they said, usually we are like this at the end of the project. Now at the beginning we are like this, and then it's like, panic, released, everything. Now they say it was opposite. It was panic of the first and second sprint because we have even working overtime to make sure that we get it. But at the end, it was the last iteration, the last feature, either we add it, or if it's very, very bad, we don't add it, but we already had working product all the time. So it's just basically, yeah, that's me. That's the end of the project where you have to ride the elephant first time before riding the horse. So yeah. So Does Agile works in these projects? It does. So you just take the framework and do nothing more, no technical practices, basically just take those meetings, make sure you get them done, buy the book, and it's like, I know, the first level, or if you look what Alistair was saying, shoe level, that you know the basics, yes? And it was interesting to read the article, I don't know, like 3 weeks or a month ago, that some outsourcing executive says, stop outsourcing your software development. This is the article. He's the outsource company CEO. And then he adds, unless absolutely have to, and unless you do this Agile, more specifically with Scrum. Because as a vendor, or as a client, you really can control the company, see how it's going, what's velocity, and get real results done, not some documentation or something. So just, it works for projects and for even outsourced projects as well. So that's when you are in the first high school league. You just follow by the book. And again, I hear lots of people saying, yeah, we do Scrum, but we don't do reviews. Or we do Scrum, but we do only stand-ups. And then I'm saying it's like, you know, playing basketball, but, you know, carrying the ball. I mean, we play basketball, but we run out of the field and do whatever we want. I mean, that's even not a league, you know. That's like I have fun outside with my friends, but if I want even a school league, I have to follow those 14 pages rules. It's like basketball when you download the FIBA rules, and that's the rules. Okay. Is it clear? This makes sense. The first level, shoe level, just the basics rules. So then we want to go to a better league, you know. We're IT specialists. We want to play basketball, so we're not basketball players, but we want to get some league, you know. It's big other guys are coming. So that's what you have to start adding technical practices, and in other terms, you start using these XP practices. If you really know XP, and you look about these top-level practices, actually it's exactly the same as in Scrum. I mean, you have to have the whole team together, you have to have a planning game for iteration, you have to make small releases, and you have to have customer tests so they know when you accept it or not. It's like in sprint review you do. So if you look either Scrum or very, very top-level, top practices of XP, it's more or less the same. It just talks about the standard management framework. But if you want to go to IT League, some higher level, you have to start using all more deeper technical practices, like continuous integration, collective code ownership, meaning that everyone can change the code, and we have practices how we make sure that it doesn't break totally. To do that, of course, we need coding standards. If the guy writes everything, you know, it indents in 5 spaces, another one in 10, you can't read the code, so you have to agree how to name variables. That was a very interesting example. I was in a meeting, 3 half-an-hour meetings where guys were discussing how to name variables correctly. But finally they agreed. So yeah, you have to have sustainable pace, so you can deliver always, and you have to have continuous integration. So just to point out here that if you want to go to some other level, it's not enough to have the basic practices, you have to start using some of more deep practices. And actually that's what I think is Agile in Lithuania is mostly about. Because if you look at the conference like this one, we are talking mainly about, you know, what Scrum Master role is, what product owners should do, how to build the team together. Yes, we have technical track like now, but even there you can see they will talk most on high level, and of course the guys in open space will do a bit more deep. The same we talk in user groups that I mentioned. Usually we talk about high level stuff, project management stuff, not getting in technical details. The same in the conference that we have Agile Lithuania Day. I looked back through all the talks, the names, and that's what I found. So I put all logos of all companies that have ever talked in one of these events. So again, it doesn't mean that that company is Agile on this level or whatever. It means a person from this company came and talked. So many of them are missing, many of them are maybe for wrong reason. But this is kind of the feeling that we have. We have Adform being very advocate and talking about this, and then we have others actually joining and sharing their experience. Yes? Standards, Scrum stuff, and bit of some technical practices. We tried a bit of these, we tried a bit of these. So as I said, just don't take this that, I don't know, some company, this one doesn't exist anymore even. You know, it changed the name, sorry. So, but it's just a map to see. And that's what we basically talk in Agile Lithuania community, because that's the market. We have community, we don't invite externals, we get the people from community, so that's what they share, what they do. So that's why I say when you are in IT league, it's some not professional league, but some more professional than in high school, that you are, when you start trying technical practices. If you start doing some of them, you are here. And now I have to open the bottle. We need some joke here. Who was here? Who was in the conference? Sorry, I'll get your question. Who was in the conference last time? See? You know the answer. Yeah, you had a question. I hope water. Good. So, what do you think can be National League? What do we need to do? If we want to play a National League, Lithuanian LKL it's called. Anyone has ideas? Coach, that might be one idea. Automation, yes. Go deep, go deep. If we had these practices, we need to start really doing them. We should stop asking questions as if test-driven development pays off or not. I mean, it's like, you have to do it because it has to be automated. All your tests has to be automated. Otherwise, you are slow. You have to do continuous refactoring because if you get to the point where you have to stop in 3 months to rewrite half of your system, you did something wrong before. Yes, we are in the company have legacy code as well, but you are trying at least with new projects to get that. Have simple design all the way. Do pair programming if you need. So you're getting very deep and practicing those technical things, which of course if you start doing at the beginning won't make sense, you know. If you start talking for high school kids how to dribble the ball and make that very clever combination, they will get lost, of course. So you start with it and then you're getting here. So that's what basically we in Adform, I think, where we are and what we're sharing, as Gediminas presented, continuous delivery. Now our developers has a button that they press it, and if you press this button, it goes to this development environment. If everything is fine, you can press the button and it goes to this development environment. If it's fine, it means all tests pass, automation goes through, everything is green. You press this button, you go to integration environment. All again, test pass, everything is fine, you go to pre-production and production. There is no people behind the scenes. If the guys wrote the test and if they green, it means we can go further. So now we have everything behind the scenes automated to 5 buttons to click. Of course, it's a bit more complex than that, and Gediminas will tell you how we got there, but that's kind of the end result where we want to go and we want to be. So you don't have someone behind. Send these files to IT departments, so the IT ops can actually upload them to the production system. So you get really technical practice. What else? We start measuring real business results. And Mantas talks about metric-driven development, but I'm product owner. I force my team to get these screens to me. What do you think it's shown here? I took the money mats, it's fine, we don't see. What did I show? What do I show here? What do you think? Yeah, what does it mean? Yeah, we kind of have a bidding system, so how much money goes through our system per second. What do you think happened here? It's an interesting part. Of course, always interesting is high. Sorry? That's why I'm asking a question. If that would be a legend, it would be. Let's speculate. What could happen here? Problem. Yeah, developers made a release. A new cool feature. Something, yeah? Or it might be otherwise. Actually, in this case, if that would be a bug, usually then all these lines would go up because probably all these lines means different, what we get different sources of that money coming in. So if you make a bug, usually then all of them go up or all of them go down. In this case, clients set up a new campaign, so that campaign is spending more money on this kind of channel. But I, as a product owner, I'm looking at real business metrics, and actually developers looking at the metrics. We don't ask if the bug is there or not is there. They're looking at business metrics, and after release, if they see everything goes as it should go, yeah, okay. If we see something dropped, we don't even ask, is there a bug? We just roll back everything, and then we start looking, where is the bug? Is it business bug? Is it development bug? I mean, you know, when you have real things to measure, you can make real results. Again, this is kind of, you know, playing really technical stuff like getting the right coach and, you know, like in basketball, getting the right techniques. But when you get there, that's what you can do. And we share our experiences. Like today, we have this open space development, so we're not afraid to go out and tell the guys. Because we can tell how do we do this. Because if you start today, it will take you at least a year to get there. You know, so after a year, I'll talk about something else. So it's okay to share. That's what I'm a bit sad in Lithuania, that we're a bit afraid to share experiences. No, let's do it. You can grow, and as fast you can grow, as better is for all Lithuanian community. So that's if you have a boring talk, or you want to spend 45 minutes discussing this, or actually coding and releasing a software after an hour, go to the data room and talk with those guys. So we shared. So again, I took the same slide and I looked through all the companies that talked about something more than just Agile, Scrum, basic stuff that actually talked about technical practices. So of course Adform does that quite a lot and almost in every company, and there was only few other companies that actually talked about it. Again, it doesn't mean that in Lithuania no other companies use anything like this. It just says that if you look at how much we talk about general stuff, the first level or school level stuff, it's quite less if you see how much we talk about this one. And we see the conference that I talked about. There is a good conference organized exactly about building stuff, about actual technical practices. But if you look at the speakers, I think there is only one or even none Lithuanians there. So it means it's coming from outside. It's being done around the world and in Europe and neighborhood countries, but in Lithuania we don't have that experience yet. So we have to bring out outsiders, except of course some companies. So if you want to play in National League, it's not enough to try. You have to practice the technical practice. You have to be these guys, they have some methods how to work, how to make a dribbling, how to get the ball into the field, what the combination to make. They have coaches that help them. They have advisors and all that stuff. Because then you are on this national level when you can really have a nice league. Okay, so what's left then? We've done everything. What the guys in Euroleague do? What's the difference between Lithuanian National Basketball League and Euroleague? Budgets. The only thing, yeah? If you have more money, you are directly in the next league. Not surely. There's many Russian clubs that have bigger budgets but are not in this league. Then we start saying Scrum, the basic shoe level techniques don't work for us. We have to have a faster flow. This is a photo from my team room. We said Scrum, yeah, those meetings, planning meetings, why we should plan for 2 weeks in advance. We need just-in-time planning because 2 weeks in advance may be too much. So whatever comes, this is the backlog, and we will do our point to get the feature fastest through the board. Then, of course, we have to go standard Kanban rules, have the workflow defined, have the work in progress limits defined, and measure the flow. This is the number story points per day that we can get through the board. But it's completely different techniques. You're kind of moving stuff around. Yeah, this one's not the part of the board, but Donatas probably is laughing about. Oh, sorry, there is a boxes. So the point was here that you have to kind of take some out of the school level techniques and add new techniques that help you to move faster. So for example, that's where Kanban comes with all his flow ideas. Then what starts? This is the Scrum team board, and this is their own poster they put. It's not a manager, it's definitely not Mats who came and put the picture. Themselves, they put a picture. They tired themselves that second time in the sprint they didn't deliver something what they committed. So they said we have to motivate ourselves. Now self-motivation starts in the way that they like it. What other teams are doing, improvements themselves. They print out the nice definitions of done, track themselves how we feel today, every day, so we see what's the temperature in the room, are we happy to work each other, what we actually agreed on retro, and we want to make sure that we actually implement on these improvements. And it's not, again, that manager came and told we have to do this. If you go through team rooms, it will be all completely different. It's we as a team agreed that we want to go this level. And then, if they want to draw an architecture, in normal company, we draw it in normal tools, and in our company, they said, let's take markers and do it something more fun. This is the architecture of systems, so they made it fun. More stuff. Anyone heard about Fedex Day? How many have heard about Fedex Day? Good. How many tried in your company Fedex Day? Good. Adform did it as well. For those who don't know, FedEx is, they say we deliver in 24 hours. Yeah? You ship today, 24 hours, you're done. It's what company can do, what people in the company can do in 24 hours. So you have 24 hours time. You say, group of teams, get ideas, do whatever you want as a company, as a guys. We don't care, there's no management, nothing. You have ideas, build teams around it, and build something. Only after 24 hours we'll come and we'll have a jury, which will see is your idea prototype really working. It's not like to come up with the idea, it's implement the idea. And this is the jury answer. We were blown away by a wave of genius ideas. If you look from management perspective, it's a bit it costs a lot, 70 developers. You're giving them 1 day free. It's like 70 man days to investment. Quite a big money. but you get the results. We can get more specific. We get 48 ideas proposed, different ideas to the product, how we could change it to process, and 13 ideas were realized in 24 hours, which actually, if you look from companies, 8 hours, 8 working hours. 24 hours is the time scale. Some people work throughout the night. So you have 13 ideas in 8 hours day. I mean, which wherever a normal work day you would get that. Yes, you don't. So we try these things, and of course, you have to make some investments to get some pizzas, beers, and this is the numbers for those who are here, how many pizzas and beers that costs to make it really work and have the energy flowing. So I think when you are in Euroleague, in some next level, you have to enable the continuous improvement. It has to be that not the managers come and tell how to make things better. It's teams and people trying to change things themselves. So we just tell the managers, we didn't even tell them that we're using Kanban. I mean, who cares? As long as we deliver software, and if we can do it faster, it's just better. So it's Kanban for us, it's faster delivery for the company. But you have to make sure that it's a process in the company and you can go through it. So that's what I say it's the Euroleague is. So then what's NBA? Anyone? No, it's not finished. She applauds when I drink. She knows the trick. What's the NBA? What can be more? Are we done? Come on, someone. Oh. Is it only me who has these passion ideas? You know, if I would be an Adform now, I'm bored because I want to do more. So we're not done because it's a journey of continuous improvement where perfection is unattainable. You cannot get perfect there. You can always find ways to improve. And that's basically what all these, if you look about lean from the trenches, how to get 60 people around one board and doing a public project for the police department to make it run. How you have completely strange management 3.0 ideas from Jürgen and Pello that you can apply in your company. What beyond budgeting is all about. We say we don't need maybe a budget for a year. That's nonsense. Why some CFO has to tell how much money we'll be spending in next December in some training? I mean, how the hell we can know? We can predict, pretend that we predict, but that's kind of doesn't make sense because we are moving too fast as an organization. So these are kind of next level improvements that you can look at. And of course, there's much more. This is just a few examples and a few books that you can read and people that you can meet. So I don't go into this deep because I think we don't have lots of practices. We try a few things from all of these in Adform. But the idea is now you have to start thinking about the whole organization. That's why basically I asked Alistair that question. In Agile, do we talk about only software development? Yes, if you're on school level, in an IT league level, or even a national level, you probably speak about development. Development, how to optimize development process. But if you get out to Euroleague or more to NBA, you have to think, can our whole organization, from the idea coming in, from the sales guys, marketing, get into the same flow? Can we have that Kanban board, that first column is where sales guys put the ideas in, and we have one board in a company. It's, of course, going across departments and all the bad stuff that can happen that you can think of. But that's where actually some companies are going, and you can already find lots of examples that where it's actually being implemented. So that's, I think, the next step for us to think how to optimize the whole organization using exactly the same ideas. Yes, they came from software development. Yes, we don't know actually how the managers work, what do those product managers do, because we're software developers, we're engineers. But we somehow have to work with them together to figure this out, because if we have our improvements in development, and then the rest of the organization is exactly the same, probably we'll stuck there. We'll stuck on national level, and we might be fine with that, but this depends what you want. So that was basically my leagues, and we had this from 0 to 1. So if we look back now, what do you think today? How many people think you are on the school league? Now, 1, 2. There's no 0 league. I know now it's hard, you know, to tell yourself that I'm on school league. Come on, we are doing business. We have been in IT industry like 10 years. And now Vaidas tells that we're in school league. It's shame, no? No, it's not for that reason. So seriously, do you think you're on school league? Kindergarten. Who thinks they are in IT league, some semi-professional league, but not really professional? I kind of assume that 3. Oh, that's who thinks that in national league? 1, 2, 3. Okay, who thinks they're in a Euroleague? A competition between European companies. NBA, anyone? So what do all the rest do? Okay, I'll leave it open for you. I know it's a bit, tough question in front of other people. It's just for you to think and reflect where we are. And funny thing is, I did this presentation, and then I'm reading some blog and whatever, and see Ken Schweber, the owner, the co-creator of the Scrum, is coming up with a framework. And if you go through it, the first Scrum framework says you have to focus on Scrum out-of-the-box rules. Are using Scrum rules, frequency events. If you go to 5 plus whatever, management roles defined, team performance bonuses. So it's kind of team-based performance, not personal. Department and organizational change begins. But I honestly tell you, this was after I made a presentation. So I think Ken Schweber looked at my presentation somehow, not I did that. You can trust it or not. But you can look into it because I think it's more scientific. Of course, they will make more out of this, but it's coming, how to measure how agile we are. And then they, of course, coming up with very nice ideas. You have some metrics. You can start measuring in which area, how much you are increasing, so you can start using the same. If you take, out-of-the-box Scrum, are we on the first level? Yes, we are. Let's put all the meetings and artifacts, and let's define how well we do them. And then you have it rather like this. We want to be on second level. Let's take second level XP practices. Let's to measure, for example, from scale 1 to 5, how well we are doing each of the XP practices, and we can see, because of course it won't be that you do everything everywhere right, and maybe you don't even need to, but it's good visualization how you can work on it. So we have 0 time left, and that means we have either 5 minutes for questions, or we want to talk about change. So does anyone has a question? You can ask more specific. How many minutes do we need to think about this? Anyone? Then I'll show you a small video. Do we have sound?
Along this great ocean route, 10 cargo planes connect Hong Kong with Australia. They land each day at Port Moresby, and the cargo cult has its temples almost everywhere nearby. This is one. Its altar is standing 9,000 feet above sea level. The dummy plane is at the edge of the landing strip. At the other end, the control tower. The natives of the Rozo and Mikeo tribes are waiting for some plane to land on their strip, attracted by the bamboo model. They believe that planes come from paradise. Their ancestors sent them. But the white man, a crafty pirate, manages to get his hands on them by attracting them into the big trap of Port Moresby.
There should be one more sentence I'm waiting for.
You build your plane too, says the cargo cult doctrine, and wait with faith. Sooner or later, your ancestors will discover the white man's trap and will guide the planes on your landing strip. Then you will be rich and happy.
It's a bit bad video, but if I don't know if you get the meaning, the idea that African guys made a fake airport because they saw the real airport, and they thought if we make exactly the same, plane will land and will bring goods and we'll be rich and happy. So look at this, and then. The point here to say, if you try to mimic any of organization, other stuff that, for example, we are doing or other companies doing, without understanding why we are doing and what were the reasons that lead to it, you might go to very wrong result, like these guys waiting for planes to land. Why I bet none of the planes will land here. Just to talk a bit about have changed. Those who tried, it's don't try to just to copy. Try to understand why each practice is there, why we do sprint reviews, and then you might, or whatever, and then you might get much better results. To finish it up, change starts with you. If you are the one that wants to change in the company, you don't have to be a manager to convince all your team. You can start with yourself, and you're not alone. We have community. We can try, and the best thing to try is with personal project. This is my personal project for the first half of the year. 2 projects: remaking my apartment, or making my new apartment, and being married, getting married. This is all the stuff we need to make our festival look nice. We had a Scrum board for that, because before that I was talking to my future wife, now wife. She said, "Oh, we have to do that and that and that and that," and it's like, let's write down everything, let's put it here, and let's make sure that we have in progress only few points we're working on this time, because that day is very important, we want to get it right. You can look here that, damn it. Before the day, of course, we have to go to Kanban, because we have day by day, every evening we have a sit-up meeting, because we sit, and we move the stickers so we know that on this day at 2 o'clock, that will be the most happy day of my life, and that it was, and Scrum or Kanban or whatever ideas helped me, so you can try it in your personal life and it works. So I was very happy that we had such a nice day then. In summary, why using Agile? You have to find yourselves, changing, start with yourself, and then we have 4 leagues which you want to decide yourself where you want to go, and then you can see how if you want to go to the next one, maybe you don't need to, but that's your choice. Thank you. I hope it was a bit interesting. And if I look at my clock, I let Alexei prepare, but we have like 1 minute for questions, so if you have anyone, come in and ask. If not, let's start switching the rooms for the next. Thank you.